So Senators Obama and McCain have just completed their first debate. Both were non-committal on whether they'll vote for that financial bailout plan that's being hammered out on Capitol Hill. There were a lot of familiar themes tonight. Senator McCain saying government spending has to be cut. He portrayed Obama as a big spender, but for his part, Senator Obama said President Bush is behind a, quote, orgy of spending with the support of John McCain. Now, about 45 minutes of this debate was spent on the economy. That's half the debate, which was originally planned to be all about foreign policy. Now, when they got to that, Obama said we should not have gone to war in the first place, and McCain criticized Obama quite aggressively, especially at the end of this debate, for opposing the surge, saying he's not experienced enough. McCain also criticized Obama for saying, as president, he would talk to the leader of Iran without preconditions. Obama responded he'd reserve the right to speak to anyone to protect the security of the United States. Meanwhile, a bit more interaction between the candidates than we've seen in past presidential debates. Bob Schieffer is our chief Washington correspondent and anchor of Face the Nation. Bob and I have been watching this debate as it took place here at Ole Miss. What did you think? Did you think that, I mean, this was John McCain's strong suit, foreign policy, and expectations were high for him. How do you think Barack Obama did, given John McCain's expertise in this area, Bob?
I think, number one, it was a very good debate. It was dignified. It was on point. I thought both of them made a very good presentation, as good a presentation as I've seen either one of them give over this long year of debates that we saw during the primaries.
It was really experience versus judgment, wasn't it?
It really was. I think what I was impressed by is this was supposed to be John McCain's strong point, foreign policy. I thought that Senator Obama held his own with Senator McCain on foreign policy. But they really mixed it up. I thought they were both very good. McCain, I thought, was very good in stressing his experience. He has obviously dealt with these issues. But I have to say, I thought Obama stayed right with him on most of the issues tonight. Nobody broke away. There was no knockout here tonight. Nobody made any serious gaffes. I thought it was a very informative debate. I think we learned something about both these men. I think it's about where it was when they went into it tonight.
But certainly two very distinct points of view from each one of them.
Yeah.
CBS News national correspondent Byron Pitts is at CBS Television City at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, and that's where CBS does audience research. Tonight, Byron is with an audience of about 100 uncommitted voters from all across the country. They watched the debate on television, and one of their biggest reactions came when the candidates talked about the war in Iraq. Byron?
Hey, Katie, that's right. And the reaction here may surprise the people at home. Now, here's how this system works. Take a look at this. This is the same Nielsen technology that tests audience reaction to a new TV program. Tonight, each participant had their own joystick. Watch the line across the middle of your TV screen. If the line goes up, that means a favorable reaction. The line goes down, a negative reaction. Now watch the moment of the debate that drew the strongest reaction. It was during the exchange on the war in Iraq between Senator Obama and Senator McCain.
The next president of the United States is not going to have to address the issue as to whether we went into Iraq or not. The next president of the United States is going to have to decide how we leave, when we leave, and what we leave behind. That's the decision of the next president of the United States.
John, you like to pretend like the war started in 2007. You talk about the surge. The war started in 2003. And at the time when the war started, you said it was going to be quick and easy. You said we knew where the weapons of mass destruction were. You were wrong. You said that we were going to be greeted as liberators. You were wrong. You said that there was no history of violence between Shia and Sunni, and you were wrong.
Now, keep in mind, most of the folks in these rooms were undecided voters from across the country. Show of hands if you think Senator McCain won tonight's debate. A show of hands if you think Senator Obama won tonight's debate. All righty, sir. You're from where?
Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. Okay, so you are an Obama supporter, is that fair?
I tend towards Obama, yes.
Your thoughts about tonight's debate?
I thought it reminded me a little bit of the Kennedy-Nixon debate. Obama came across very relaxed, very articulate. Senator McCain came across just like Richard Nixon, and a little bit stressed. He showed much more emotion than Obama did.
All right. Thank you, sir. Katie, back to you.
All right. Byron, thanks very much. Jeff Greenfield is our senior political correspondent. Jeff, you're a real student of debates. What stood out for you tonight?
A couple of things. I think Byron was quite right in picking that as the soundbite of the night. I also think that McCain, in the section on foreign policy, also gave a strong performance when he said we can't snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It struck me that in the first part of the debate, which was on the economics, Senator McCain often got very senatorial, talking about continuing resolutions and cost-plus contracts. Kind of got, in my view, a little trapped in senatorial ease, while Obama kept talking about the working families and the middle class. And lastly, a very interesting exchange about whether or not Henry Kissinger, one of McCain's advisors, in fact agrees with Obama about meeting with various unsavory or people who oppose us without preconditions. I think that's going to be a major back and forth in the next days of, campaigns going back and forth saying you were wrong, no, you were wrong. Overall, I thought a strong performance on both sides, an encouraging debate actually for the first one for anybody. Katie?
All right, Jeff, thanks. By the way, the issue of meeting with Iranian officials without preconditions and Henry Kissinger's position on that came up during my recent interview with Governor Sarah Palin. Now, after that interview, I called Secretary Kissinger to clarify his position. He said he does support face-to-face talks with high-level officials in Iran without preconditions. In other words, you have to do X, Y, and Z before we sit down, though not necessarily with the Iranian president. Now, that's in line with the position of a number of former secretaries of state who opposed the Bush administration's policy of freezing out enemies like Iran and Syria. Well, here's the surprise. Both campaigns think their man did best. We're going to take you to a place called Spin Alley when our debate coverage continues in just a moment.